to the Iracing 2003 Budweiser Shootout at Daytona, where in all honesty, the Budweiser Shootout or the clash should always take place here at the Daytona International Speedway. This is the first exhibition race of this brand new series that we're going to be doing today. 19 cars, the 19 best drivers out of the 2002 Nascar Winston Cup Series season are going to be competing here at the World Center of Racing to try to grab a trophy by the end of it. This race will consist of 25 laps. It'll be a pretty short race. Should be pretty chaotic. And first race that we're doing. The last time I did a commentary one like this was back on F124's prologue for the career. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. And without further ado, let's go on ahead and get to the starting lineup for today's race. So to start off, we got in row 1, we have Warburton, who drew the #1 starting position in the Caterpillar Dodge. He will start off this Daytona shootout, Bud Shootout, P1 today, and to his outside will be Ryan Newman in the Altel Dodge number 12, the 2002 Rookie of the Year. Then in row 2, it is Matt Kenseth in that DeWalt 17 car. And the BAM Racing number 49 car will be driven by Ken Schrader. Then in row 3, you have Kevin Harvick in that beautiful red GM Goodrun Chevrolet. And to his outside, Dale Jarrett in the UPS 4. In row 4, we have Dale Earnhardt Jr., who has been pretty fast here at these super speedways in recent memory. And to his outside, Terry Labonte, who is looking to have a rebound of some sorts after a dismal 2002 season. Then in row 5, we have Mark Martin in the Viagra Ford, and to his outside, Ricky Craven in the 32. Row 6 consists of Bill Elliott, the most popular driver, and Kurt Busch to his outside, competing in his second ever Bud Shootout. In the next row, it is Jimmy Johnson, the sophomore sensation, and to his outside, Tom O'Dine in that beautiful National Guard 54. Then in row 8, we have Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon. Row 9 will be Jeffrey Bodine and Tony Stewart. And rounding out the field is Ricky Rudd in the number 21. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go racing here at Daytona for the Budweiser Shootout. Warburton and Ryan Newman will lead them down to the green flag. We're racing here at Daytona. Let's go. Warburton already out to a pretty strong lead ahead of Matt Kenseth in the 17. The outside line did not get going off the start, which is going to push Ryan Newman back a little bit. But as they get up to speed, it does take a lap to get up to speed around this place, so it won't take long. But Ryan Newman already charging up there now. He's side by side with Warburton for the lead, heading to 3 and 4. But can he get around Warburton is the main question. So there's going to be some drivers moving around a little bit, seeing what kind of air they might be able to get to the nose of the car. And it looks like Warburton will lead the first lap here in the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona. Ryan Newman still to his outside, and he's hanging tough. That BAM Racing 49 of Ken Schrader, he ain't leaving him for a while. Doesn't look like any of these drivers are really going to be making a whole lot of crazy moves quite yet. It's all still single file. Still Warburton and Ryan Newman going at it for the lead. And it seems like Newman's just edging out Warburton a little bit, but War going into the corner because of the outside line stacking up. That's going to allow him to pretty much have a car length over Warburton. But there's a little bit of a gap actually back there between near Rusty Wallace and Bill Elliott. And that's not a good gap to have on the inside. They better get that cleared back up. It looks like they're going to with Rusty's run on Bill Elliott. And that'll close back up that inside pretty fast. As it is still Warburton leading. But Ryan Newman, he ain't backing down. He ain't going to just not go after the lead at all. He's going to keep her going and try to get around the 22. And he's looking to etch out a little bit more. But again, that run down the back straightaway for Warburton is just all he needs, and he gets it on the inside in 3 and 4. And Ryan Newman, he's actually lost quite a bit of time, and that's actually going to maybe allow Matt Kenseth to go to the outside maybe if he wants to. But never mind, Newman actually just closes the gap on him. So Newman is still, even though the outside is having a little bit of congestion issues, Newman and Schrader just find their way back up there, and they never seem to leave Warburton's sights at all. Ward is still barely hanging onto this lead, and the outside really congested. They congested before they even hit the corner. There's a pretty decently sized gap in between Kenton Schrader and Dale Jarrett, and that's not going to be good because that might push the 49 and the 12 back a little bit more, and that's going to help the 22 and the 17 of Burton and Kenseth. But it seems like the outside's getting back together after the little congestion that they had. Stuff that you don't want to do in the Bud Shootout, and especially when it comes to the Daytona 500, you definitely don't want to do that, because when that happens, there's a different Daytona that we're going to have for when we actually go racing around here. It's going to be the bumpier version, the version that everybody loves. So you get out of whack, well, let's just say your car might be going for a spin, and you might take half the field with you. So these drivers are taking advantage of it, because this track's definitely going to change in about 2 weeks' time when we come back to Daytona. And you see there's actually a pretty big gap from Kurt to Todd Bodine back there. And it's not good, but at least it's not in the middle of the outside groove. And the outside is really coming alive now with Ken Schrader and Ryan Newman. Newman will lead that time. And Jarrett jumps to the outside. He's going to bring, it looks like, Terry Labonte with him and Jimmy Johnson. And they're gonna go for it. They are gonna go for it. And they're gonna bring Kurt with them as well. That is going to leave Ken Schrader and Ryan Newman out to dry, essentially, because they ain't going to have anybody out there anymore. Well, Kurt just dropped from the outside back to the middle. It looks like to help the 49 and the 12, because they're actually gaining more momentum, and that's going to allow both Newman and Schrader to get back past Dale Jarrett and the guys that were trying to trail him on the outside. Johnson, Bodine, and Rudd are trying to test something a little bit, test the waters out there, but Bodine just slips back to the bottom, and guess who's on the outside by himself? It's Dale Jarrett in the 88. He's all out there by his lonesome. He's gonna go backwards in a hurry. He ain't got no help out there, but he's still managing to hang on. He's kind of side drafting him quite a bit to try to maintain the position. Newman's slowly etching out there. Newman's doing a pretty good job, and Jarrett, he has an opportunity to slot back in between Terry Labonte and Bill Elliott, but will he take it is the question. And it doesn't look like it. The hole closed up pretty fast, so he wasn't really able to. But Jarrett is still hanging on that outside. He's still hanging up out there. Look at that 88 car. He's still hanging up. Is Johnson going to go with him? It looked like Johnson might want to go with the 88, but the outside's going again, so I don't think Johnson wants to do that. Newman is still trailing that outside. Johnson, I think, yeah, he jumped to the outside. It is now Dale Jarrett and Jimmy Johnson on the outside. The middle line really stacked up. They really congested. And that's going to allow the 88 and the 48 to go even further. Look at them go. Gordon trying to get close to them. Can he? It doesn't look like it. He might be a little too far back. The 88 of Jarrett took a big chance being up there on the outside, and he and Jimmy Johnson are the only two that are actually up there, minus Gordon, but Gordon is so far back, he's not going to be able to really get anything. Look at the run the two have gotten. They're pretty much just at the top 5 at this point. They're going to take it to Newman and Warburton as they come into the start-finish line. Look at the 88 and the 48 go. Johnson pushing Jarrett, and Schrader backed off of Newman a lot there, and that's going to hurt Newman and help the 88 and the 48. It looked like that Newman actually kind of side drafted the 88 and 48, got side drafted by the 49. So they're going to go way far back. Now Burton has about 2 car lengths ahead of the 12, but Schrader just will not leave Newman. Newman back to the front. Jarrett and Johnson, it works for a time for them on the outside, but they slot back in right behind Kurt Busch and in between, or just in front, I should say, of Terry Labonte as we head to 16 laps to go here in the Bud Shootout. Warburton still leads. Warburton, I think, is just as shocked as the rest of us that he is still out here leading, but him losing the lead has been a little bit too often. He's almost lost the lead a couple times to Newman. And in all honesty, it looked like Newman at a couple points was about to lose the draft entirely with some of the congestion that was happening on the outside, and it was just out of his control because Newman's out in front of the out of the whole pack, and the inside actually congests this time. That's new. That's going to hurt Ward Burton, and that's going to allow Newman to go to the front. Newman in the lead at Daytona. He'll drop to the inside. He'll give Schrader the outside. Newman will lead this time, coming to 15 to go. Rudd is all the way. Where did Rudd come from? He started last in this race. What? He's up there by himself again. Schrader's now in the lead. Look at Rudd in the 21. He's up on the outside by himself. Here comes Mark Martin to help him out. And maybe the Hendrick cars of Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon. Other than that, though, Kurt Busch is side by side with Ken Schrader. That inside line congesting really did help a lot of drivers get to the front. Look at Rudd and Martin. The middle line congests a little bit with Junior and Johnson losing the draft a little bit off the back of Jarrett. Martin looks like he's going to push Rudd to the lead almost. Schrader holds it for now, but it's getting a little dicey. It's getting a little dicey. There's a little bit of a gap from the 22 of Burton to the 17 of Kenseth. Junior just jumps right in there to get out of that middle line. Junior knows that middle line just stacks up so much often than the inside line does. The inside line has stacked up about once. And the outside really has really stacked up a whole lot more. Jarrett is now on the outside. He's going to go for it. He's got help from the 21 of Rudd. Johnson is with Kurt. Johnson, he's been a real MVP in this race. When it's just him and one other driver, he goes. Johnson is really, really good at pushing drivers here at Daytona, and we're halfway through the race now. Johnson is still holding his own with Kurt Busch in that middle line. The only two are there in the middle line. Terry Labonte looked like he was going to try to go for it a little bit, but he jumped right back to the outside. Johnson can go to the outside if he really wanted to as well, but maybe that hole might close because of Mark Martin. Speaking of Dale Jarrett in that 88 car, he's going to go for it. Dale Jarrett, can he clear the 97 of Kurt? He can't. Johnson pushed Kurt far out enough to where he can get him out front and into the lead. Kurt Busch is dropped to the inside in front of Schrader, and now it seems like Jarrett is going to go a little bit further back now. But because he's got help from Rudd, he might be able to stay up there, but the rest of the help behind Rudd just dropped to the bottom, and, well, now Bill Elliott's going to drop to the outside with them. Now there's this is the furthest that we have seen the leader not have to deal with someone on their outside. But Johnson's coming back slowly but surely in that 48 car in the middle line now. Jarrett's holding his own on the outside with Rudd in tow. Although, like, Mark Martin was trying to jump down in front of Dale Jr. because the hole was there, but Jr. in that Bud car just continuing to show that 8 car is still good on the super speedways, but he just hasn't had the opportunity to really get up there and show it with the laps winding down with 11 laps to go in the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona. Johnson with Martin. Johnson to third. A little bit of a checkup from the leader and Schrader. Here comes Johnson. Can he get there? Side by side with Schrader for second. Can he side draft him? Is he going to side draft him? It looks like he did. He's going to go to the outside of Kurt Busch. He's going to go side by side with him. Jarrett trying to make that outside line work. The checkup on the bottom happens with first Newman and then Schrader. This is going to open the door up beautifully for Jimmy Johnson. Look at Jarrett on the outside go. Johnson did not have any help. That's going to slow Johnson, but because Jarrett doesn't have any help, he's going to slow down too. And now the teammates of Kurt Busch and Mark Martin drive away with the lead, as now the outside with Dale Jarrett in front is now stacking up even more. But Johnson shockingly did not lose that much time. And Johnson's coming back now with Bill Elliott behind him. And then he even got Matt Kenseth in the 17 behind him as well. Johnson is going to clear Kurt Busch entering 3 and 4. But Kurt, he's going to fight back a little bit more. He doesn't have Mark Martin on him because Mark, he dropped back a little bit. Maybe to help the 97 out a little bit more coming off the corner. But there goes Johnson right to the bottom. That'll open the door up beautifully for Bill Elliott on the outside. 9 laps to go at Daytona. these last 9 laps, they're going to get pretty crazy. I mean, already Bill Elliott's going after Jimmy Johnson for the lead. But can he clear him? They're going to be side by side for a little bit. And Ken Schrader, he kind of laid off the back of the 6 a little bit. He's going to get a run, but he's not going to be able to really take it anywhere. Because he's got the 21 of Ricky Rudd to his outside. And it looked like that Junior, a little bit further back, was trying to maybe make a third line. That just did not work out for him. Johnson's, however, going to be a car length ahead of Bill Elliott. He can go to the outside if he wants to, but Johnson is going to stay committed to the inside, as now we head to 8 laps to go in the Bud Shootout. Elliott trying to take advantage and grab the lead, but Johnson, with the help of Kurt, managing to stay out front and managing to stay there. Oh, the 9 of Bill Elliott, it looked like he had a little bit of a problem entering the corner, which allowed the 97 and the 48 to clear him a little bit more. See Junior back there trying to find any form of drafting that he could have to get him up to the front, from the bottom to the top, back to the top, or from the top to the bottom, back to the top. Gonna stay there for a little bit, right behind Terry Labonte and the others. And Johnson, he's able to control this race, kind of like how Warburton was able to earlier today. As now we head to 7 laps to go. Elliott not giving away, not giving up. He's not going to give it to Johnson. He's going. But Elliott really needs that push from Kenseth more than ever if he wants to clear the 48 and drop down maybe in front of him, because it looks like every driver wants that bottom line, but they all can't have it. Because they're all searching for speed. That's what they're trying to do. They're all trying to search for speed. Elliott, he's not really able to get there. Johnson, though, because of the outside having a little bit of issues entering corners, he's able to grab the lead, but they also get that middle line, so they're not fully on the outside. They get a little bit of a run that Johnson just can't fight. And Bill Elliott grabs the lead again, but look at the 48 of Johnson. He's sticking with him. He's sticking with the 9. He ain't giving way. Now the 48 can clear the 9. And there's a little Schrader. He kind of laid off the 6 a little bit. But there's also another gap from Warburton to Tony Stewart. There's 2 gaps in the bottom line that were, to the best of, for the drivers, best for them. But they needed that inside line to be closed up immediately. Rudd, he laid off the 88 a little bit too, of Dale Jarrett. He laid off so much that Craven just jumped from the outside back to the bottom. But Warburton and Gorner going back up there. 5 to go. Bill Elliott now in front. He's going to drop to the bottom in front of Johnson. We all knew he was going to do that. But here comes Kenseth in that DeWalt Ford with Jarrett in tow. He's hanging there. He might try to side draft it, but it looks like Johnson's also trying to side draft Kenseth. And Jarrett, it looked like he had a little bit of a run on Kenseth, but he wasn't really able to take it anywhere. He looks like he might be coming back after the 9. Junior's on the outside by himself. It looks like Warburton shoveled him out, but look at the inside. That's a big gap from the 97 of Kurt to the 48 of Johnson. Junior's still stuck up on the outside. Gordon, the 24, back there trying to decide if he wants to go with him or not. 4 to go. Bill Elliott has the biggest chance ever to win this race. He just has to hold off the 17 and the 48 for 4 more laps. There's quite a big gap from the 21 to the 22 that's thankfully being closed up on their behalf. Junior was way far back. It looks like he's going to be stuck up on the outside again, all by his lonesome, because now it's been closed off, and Junior trying to make a third line again, but it doesn't seem like anything's going to happen. It's all going to be Junior out there. Junior's trying to get something to work, but it's just not working. As we're heading to the final 3 laps. And speaking of Junior, he's getting a run. 3 to go, and Junior's now getting up there. Look at that Bud 8 car go. The 17 of Kenseth and the 9 of Elliott are still side by side. Junior's up to 5th by himself. Gordon's going to go with him. He's going to bring Newman in the 12. Kenseth trying to still grab the lead. But the 8 and the 24, are they going to hook up together? They are. Those are the two drivers on the outside that you have to beat every time you go to a super speedway. The outside, the middle line actually congests again. That's gonna halt the run that the 17 and the 88 had. Johnson's gonna go to the middle, but he doesn't go to Junior. Junior's just gonna go right around him with 2 to go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the leader at Daytona with Gordon in second. They're 3 wide for 5th between Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, and Ryan Newman. What in the world are we witnessing from that 8 car? Here comes Gordon, because Gordon has his teammate in tow now, and Junior doesn't have a teammate. None of his teammates are even in this race. Gordon has 2 of his teammates in here, and one of them's behind him, and Jimmy Johnson. Newman on the outside trying to maybe have Jarrett help him a little bit more, but it doesn't look like it's going to mean anything. It doesn't look like it's going to matter. As we head to the final lap here at Daytona, Gordon, he's fighting back on the outside. White flag one more time in the Bud Shootout at Daytona. Can Gordon pass Junior? Or will Junior just get a massive push from Bill Elliott in the 9? Newman's on the outside by himself. Can he pull a Dale Jr.? His teammate Rusty Wallace is kind of pulling him back a little bit, which might have upset Newman quite a lot. Junior maintaining the lead as they head down the back one more final time. But Gordon is getting closer. Gordon is in the lead entering 3, but Junior's not giving up. And the outside line has issues. They checked up again. That's going to hurt Gordon. Out of 4. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to win the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona just like he did in real life. What a race. What a final few laps from that 8 car. Holy moly. Dale Earnhardt Jr. pulled off one of the single greatest runs I think I've ever seen in a while. Wow. Here are the finishing results coming out of this race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona with Bill Elliott in tow in second, followed by Kurt Busch in third. Jeff Gordon finishing in 4th. Ricky Rudd from last to 5th. Good job to him. He had a really good run today here at Daytona. And you have Warburton in 6th, Jimmy Johnson 7th, Rusty Wallace in 8th, Ryan Newman 9th, and Matt Kenseth rounds out the top 10 here in the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona. I will say, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, and Ricky Rudd all shocked me today because I did not see either of them doing well at all, especially with how the first half was going. And then here are the last 19 drivers with Jared in 11th, Tony Stewart in 12th, Mark Martin 13th, Terry Labonte in 14th, Craven in 15th, Ken Schrader in 16th, Kevin Harvick in 17th, Jeffrey Bodine in 18th, Todd Bodine in 19th, and then Todd Bodine finishing in 19th. Wow. That was one hell of a race. And if this is how the rest of the races, the rest of these speed weeks are going to go, I can't wait for more. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification button down below for some down below for some more. I cannot speak. I'm just coming off of sickness, so my brain's kind of rewiring. But the Daytona Duels will take place 2 weeks from now, or a week from now, and then the Daytona 500 will take place on February the 15th. So I hope you guys are ready. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you then.